call, please.
Ellen Spalding. Kathy Clater.
Here.
Jerry Oliver.
Here.
And Scott Hagan.
Here.
Stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need a motion to approve the agenda. Oh, public comment. Approval of the agenda, do I have a motion?
We can't hear you.
Yes,
There we go.
There, thank you.
Approval of the agenda, do I have a motion?
May I interrupt? Was there any public comment for this first?
Public comments? Board discussion? Motion to approve the agenda?
My motion. Second.
Board vote?
Ellen Spalding.
Yes.
Kathy Clater.
Yes.
Jerry Oliver.
Yes.
And Scott Hagan.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have open comments. Does anybody have anything? Dan?
I just wanted to say,
There's a microphone over there.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank whoever it was that organized the town hall yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And also that maybe as a community, we can give a more coordinated effort in regards to that situation and not let it slip to the wayside.
Right.
And since we're starting a new calendar year, I hope you're the best of the transparency and we accomplish some good stuff.
Thank you, Dan. Gary?
No comments, but I have something here I'd like to bring up. Hopefully it will help you guys. Sorry.
Carrie, do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one copy for you. Each board member should get one, and some should go out to the public. So there's your other copy of that one.
Hey, Carrie, what is that online?
Huh?
What is that?
So it's right on it, what it is. Read it. Instead of me taking the time to tell you.
Can I see that?
Do the same? What did you get? I mean, these copies are published and we're passing around. Everybody's on board? So, it is the same thing. I'll trade with somebody until you get a copy back. So what you have before you are suggested guidelines for efficiency and best management practices for your district to operate under from the California State Districts Association. And actually, if you'll take a quick close look at them, they are checklists that you can complete. so that you stay on track and go down the line. And when you meet, you can have discussions and take a look at where you are and with what you're supposed to be doing and you're mandated by the state to do. Once you check all the boxes and you have that in your program with the periodic milestones that they have, there's an application form there. You can turn that in to the Leadership Foundation at California Special Districts Association. You can get a certificate for your completion, and then that certificate is good for 3 years, and copies of that certificate are forwarded by the association to, like, the County Board of Supervisors, to LAFCO, to other places, so that they can see that you are compliant and you're using the best management practices to operate the district, and those give you brownie points for future grant applications. So I hope that's helpful.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other public comments? Okay, we'll move on to item number 6, approval of the minutes of 12/11/25. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of 12/11/25.
Do you want to have any public comment on the approval of the minutes?
Is there any?
Is there any problem? I don't know.
I'll second it.
Ellen Spalding,
Yes.
Kathy Plater,
Yes.
Gerald Oliver,
Yes.
Scott Hagan.
Yes.
Ken?
This is Ken Ward, volunteer interim general manager. Just for whatever we have hired some people, as you may or may not be aware. David Handy is resigning. Had some family issues, and he's just ready to retire. He's retiring from the Guard military, I believe, as well. So we have some people that we've hired that are very, very good. First of all, it's Mike Garcia. If you stand. He is very young, very IT qualified. He's been working for the last 4 days. It's been a learning experience, but he's been doing very good. This whole community and the district in particular are very proud to have him. Next is Brad Mallory. He's not here? Nope.
Might be working hard.
He's working. He is going to be the technician for the sewer. He likewise with Mike, they've been doing the sewer walkthrough and everything for the last 4 days. So I think we're on the right track to get things going. So there you go. That's really all I have. It's just for informational purposes. The next presentation is from the Lahontan Water Board. They are here. They drove all the way from Truckee in this nasty weather. It's Mike Reese and Trevor Miller. Okay, they're here, and just one thing. This is going to. We need to be civil, of course. And they're here for informational only. So they don't, that's what we're all about, to do some transparency and see exactly what's going on. So, there you go. Who's doing it? Trevor? Mike?
Yeah, can we do a PowerPoint presentation?
Pardon me?
Can we do a PowerPoint presentation?
Can we do PowerPoint?
We could try.
I have a flash drive with it on it.
Yeah, we can give it a shot. I was gonna say, I don't think it's on Zoom. Yeah.
I don't think you can.
Well, Zoom.
If we have to do without it, since it's not the end of the world, I know we should right in there.
That or we just do a different computer. Perfect. That'd be the easiest one to do.
Should be the only fee yet in the file.
That way I'll be recording, Kelly.
Minimize?
Minimize.
Minimize.
Can you do it without a PowerPoint by any chance?
Yeah, we can just.
Yeah, because I don't want to interfere with them.
Come up here and see if you want
I haven't done that much to do it.
to. Can you open that through Zoom?
It wouldn't let you with the file explorer.
Okay, Mike, they can do it without the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Hello, I'm Boyd. Thanks for having us.
Talk about it.
I think it's can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for having us. Sorry for the little bit of the wonky start. We did have a bit of a drive, and we plan to do a little bit of a PowerPoint, but we'll do our best without. My name is Mike Reese. I'm an engineer at the Mahoney Water Board.
Sure. My name is Trevor Miller, Senior Water Resource Control
Okay.
Engineer. I supervise
Can you hear? Is the microphone on? Is it not?
I don't think it's
Just talk really loud.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to talk about everyone's favorite topic, which is wastewater. We'll get a little bit into who we are, who our agency is. We'll talk about our responsibilities and how that corresponds with Spalding CSD. And we'll talk a little bit about the compliance concerns that we've had as the state agency that regulates wastewater. And we'll kind of finish with what we've been looking at, what we've been working on, and if you have any questions, we can try and answer those. So we are a state agency. We fall under the California EPA. The structure is that there are 9 regional water quality control boards, and we are the one that basically extends from the Oregon border along the Sierra Crest all the way down into San Bernardino County. So basically the Eastern Sierra, parts of Lassen County, down through Lake Tahoe, and into basically high desert to the south. We have 2 offices. Our home base is in South Lake Tahoe, but we also have an office in Victorville, which handles more of the southern facilities that we oversee. There's also a state water board, which did have an item on this agenda. Those are our colleagues in Sacramento. They help us out from time to time. They tend to oversee more big picture items that they tend to delegate down to the regions. So they won't be here today, but we'll kind of talk about some of their efforts as well.
Sure. Yeah, so Mike had a nice slide that kind of talked about some of our core responsibilities, and there were some nice bullet points on there. I don't have them on my page, but I did mark some talking notes, so hopefully I'll do my best to convey what those core responsibilities are. Yeah, so overarching water quality protection is our mandate, right? We are tasked with protecting what we call waters of the state, right, which includes groundwater, but it also includes all the surface water, which includes all of the federal jurisdiction waters, what they call waters of the United States as well. So how do we achieve our goal of water quality protection? Generally by starting by permitting discharges of waste. It's not included to just waste discharge, it also includes activities within the waterway as well. So I know for Spalding, you guys have had some work in the marinas, right? So that was permitted by another region of our office. And we generally issue those permits for waste discharge and activities that require compliance with water quality standards and goals. I think one of the easiest examples that I can provide you, what are the standards and goals and policies, right, is like a drinking water standard. So something that has a municipally designated beneficial use, right, for something for drinking water, it has to comply with like California Code of Regulations, Title 22 for drinking water, and we write those type of standards and goals into the permits that we authorize for waste discharge, right? So hopefully that helps get across about how we kind of write those permits in accordance with that. And I want to make one point clear. Mike mentioned that we our sister agency to the state board. At our regional office, we only handle tailwater permitting, so we're not associated with the drinking water system, even though I gave a drinking water example. And so that's handled by another division. It's called Division of Drinking Water. And you guys probably have another contact for that. Let's see, what else I got on here? So other programs that may be included, right, the water board does, things like timber harvest, non-point source discharge, cleanup and site investigation, so if there's a cleanup or a groundwater spill or something similar, industrial wastewater and stormwater compliance are things that, my regional board would handle as well. And then one of the things that we do, right, so for the facilities that we actually have a permit for, that we actually regulate, we determine compliance with the permits, standards and policies with the monitoring data that you guys actually provide, or whoever is providing it, right? So we do that in-house. We take the monitoring data that you guys give us and determine if you're in compliance with the permit, effluent limitations, Title 22 requirements, other water quality standards that may be in existence as well. And then, one of the programs that we use, we call the Water Quality Control Plan for the La Haute region, or we call it our basin plan. It's kind of like our Bible, right? So that's kind of where all of the water quality goals, all the standards that we reference, it's all located in there, and that's what we use to determine what's the compliance for you guys. And then, if necessary, right, one of the ways that we continue our water quality protection, right, through our mandate, is if it's necessary, the water boards have been authorized to enforce on facilities and contractors, whoever it may be, right? It's not a route that we generally employ. It's very contentious, takes a ton of time, takes a ton of taxpayers' money, but it is something that has been, offered to the water board. And that's one of the topics, of discussion here today, is the enforcement that we've taken with Spalding, and what we hope to get to, right, and hopefully not escalate that. So, thank you.
Yeah, so specifically for Spalding CSD, as you may or may not know, Spalding CSD is covered under what we call a waste discharge requirement, which is a type of permit. Generally, we can divvy up those permits into two types for wastewater systems. One being a waste discharge requirement, or WDR. The other being discharges that are directly into surface waters, which are called NPDES, which is a federal program. I won't get into the acronym because it's not important right now. So you don't have to worry about that. But the WDR, or permit, I might use them interchangeably, for Spalding CSD is from 2006, which is when the wastewater treatment began discharging. So that is comprised of things like effluent limitations, which is a fancy word for saying, what is the concentration of a pollutant that can be in that discharge. It also includes a specific section called the monitoring and reporting program, which Trevor kind of talked about. It's what are you required to report on a monthly or annual basis, and then you submit that to our office. We look at that and determine compliance. So there isn't a specific renewal period for those WDR permits like there is for like the NPDES that you don't have to worry about. Those have to be updated every 5 years. For WDRs, it's kind of, we review them as necessary. If we need to update them, we update them. It's not a huge priority just because we have a slew of other tasks that we're taking care of. But so wastewater and Spalding, the disposal method is evaporation, just due to the sensitivity of the watershed, which is a specific type of disposal. Generally for waste discharge permits, you'll have evaporation or sometimes percolation directly into groundwater. But since we are in a more sensitive area, that's not an option. So I'll get a little bit into some of the specific compliance concerns in Spalding, and I'll put this in a general order of priority. So the first one will be the highest priority, and then I'll kind of talk about the lower priority ones. So the biggest thing that's kind of been on our radar, and I was here in August, I think August 20th of 2025 for inspection, are certain damages to the evaporation pond liners. The nature of evaporation ponds means that basically when the wastewater sits there, it eventually evaporates, but some of the pollutants accumulate in those ponds and they stay in the liner. And so we would have those tears or damages to the liner, sometimes that offers the opportunity for water to seep through those damages and seep into groundwater. So that's, in my mind, kind of the biggest concern is, the potential for water to seep into those tears and make its way into groundwater with high concentrations of, whatever. The second, which Trevor and I talked about in a second, is the sewer bypass, which I think is as a result of the 2023 sewage spill that happened, where there's, what was supposed to be a temporary fix is kind of turned into a semi-permanent one. So we're hoping that that's one thing that can be addressed in the future. There was a notice of violation issued for that, I believe, either last year or in 2024. The other two pieces of the puzzle, which are lower in priority, I'd say are proper operator certification, which sounds like there's been some progress there. Spalding CSD does currently have an exemption for a certified operator for the wastewater system, but that exemption expires this year, I think, mid to late 2026. October, thank you. October 2026. So by that date, and for everyone's benefit, the complexity and size of wastewater treatment facilities determines what professional certification an operator must have to legally operate that facility. And so Spalding is on the lower end of that. It's a grade 1 facility, but currently that exemption means that you don't technically need that grade, but that will expire in October. And then the last piece, I mentioned that I was here in August for an inspection. That was actually with the State Water Board, who is based in Sacramento. They've been pursuing compliance with what's called the Sanitary Sewer System General Permit. This is a permit that regulates sewer systems throughout the state. Basically every sewer system that's over a mile in length of pipe is covered under this order. And so they've been going through system to system, doing dozens of inspections, just looking at each facility to see how they're faring with compliance with that permit. I'd say that out of that inspection came a lot of administrative violations, which in my mind are lower threat just because they don't pose a direct threat to water quality in the near term, but it is something that folks in Sacramento might be following up on, so I just wanted to put that on everyone's radar. And so I'll talk a little bit about, once those compliance concerns are identified, what we do. So Trevor mentioned enforcement, and we do issue different types of enforcement documents. There's a lot of different levels to that, so I won't get too far into it just because I think it's more than we need to do right now, but what has been presented so far have been notices of violation, which are our lowest level of enforcement. And those really just say, hey, there's this requirement, the district violated that requirement, what are the actions that we would like to see taken? So there's 2 active notices of violation for Spalding CSD, and we're actually preparing a 3rd one for the damages to the liner. Those don't come with any type of immediate punitive measure, really, other than the requirement to respond and give us the information you ask for. But there's always the opportunity for that to elevate if those violations aren't addressed. So I just wanted to mention that. We've also been having some conversations with our sister agency at the State Board in Sacramento, specifically about funding. So we're looking into whether Spalding would be eligible for grant funding. I think the biggest piece there is there's certain eligibility requirements related to both income, population, and there's 3, and percentage of second homes or vacation homes. So we're looking into that to see that would be a great resource. I think there's one more thing I was going to mention, but I have my side in front of me. Those are the 2 big pieces. We'll talk a little bit about the current enforcement actions. So those are all going to be the notices of violation. And I'm going to pass it to Trevor to talk about the notice of violation, I believe, from early 2025 or 4, related to the spill that happened in 2023.
Thanks. So yeah, I'm just going to give a quick status update of the NOV that Mike mentioned. It was issued February 27th, 2025. It alleged violations of the Water Quality Control Plan for the Water region, as we call it, the basin plan, the SSS From my record that I can see, 3 of the 4 past requirements are still outstanding. The one that was fulfilled for the most part was providing SMR data, so monitoring data that was backlogged to the best of the extent of this Spalding CSD staff. They did provide that. Mike touched on one of them, which is the operator certification. We had asked that a licensed operator, a grade 1 licensed operator, be retained by March of last year, and all that was provided was the exemption. So I wanted to mention something real quick about the operator certification. It's a state board-led initiative for the wastewater certifications. We don't issue that. You guys apply to them directly. They work with you. The only time we get involved is when they call us up and say, hey, you guys are the ones that actually go out, put the boots on the ground. Can you verify it's actually a class 1 wastewater treatment plant? And are they eligible? Right, and that eligibility puts a lot of judgment on us, right? So what we're assessing for is to make sure that staff can have an exemption and be able to perform the duties that are required by the WDRs. So that phone call will come again, at the end of this year, and I'm not exactly sure how we're going to answer that, just to be perfectly clear. Let's see. Let's see. What was the other one? Oh, the other 2 outstanding actions that we were hoping to get by this year, and I have the NRV somewhere if you guys are curious about the dates. I can provide those. But really, we were asking for corrective action summary reports that are related to 2 different things. Number 1, a plan put in place to correct the bypass at pump station 1. Not necessarily a remedy, but a plan. Say, hey, we've been doing this, we got the funding in place, or we're working with this contractor, etc. We're hoping by now that there would be a little bit more of a plan fleshed out, but that is still outstanding. And then the other plan that we're hoping to see is a plan for the Tarrant wastewater pond liners, right? I think at the time it was what was referred to as a blister, yeah. And it's now my understanding that those tears have been, there's more, it's much more extensive. So that's the upcoming penalty that Mike will talk about here. But really, I'm not asking for a remedy, but some kind of plan put in place. So that way, so that way I can do my job and say, hey, there's reasonable progress being made, put towards this, is really the plan here. And then the last requirement that was a part of that MOB was what we call Sewer System Management Plan, or SSMP, as I'll call it. It's a requirement of the SSS order, and it's really like going through your sanitary sewer and saying, hey, here's the maintenance schedule that we're going to do on our sanitary sewer. Here's the issues that we've identified, and here's a plan that we're going to put in place, to maybe correct some of those things. And here's our maintenance schedule, etc. Also, like when the stuff does actually hit the street, who are we going to call? Not only within Spalding, as in the community, but who are we going to call at the regional board? Just that kind of record keeping is really the plan. I think August 2nd of this year was the due date, and I think that was a requirement set in place by the SSS order, not necessarily us, but that is something that we're expecting, and if not, make sure that there's some communication for us so we can give an extension if necessary. I'm going to turn it over to Mike to talk about the other 2 penalties.
Yeah, so that management plan for the sewer was also addressed by the, I think it was November 20th, 2025 notice of violation, which came directly from the State Water Board in the wake of that inspection that happened in August. And that's kind of the notice of violation that I said a lot of those requirements were administrative. So I mean, things like the plan that kind of spell out, who you're going to contact, how does cleanup go, what are the specifics of the sewer system for maintenance, what's happening every year. And so that notice of violation was less tied to direct water quality threats, but still an important piece. And we're kind of following up with State Board on what they want to see. But I think there has been some work done. I recall some back and forth between the CSD and the State Water Board responding to that, so we appreciate that. And then the last NOV that I'll talk about, notice of violation, was just for the pond liners. One thing I want to mention is that I talked about funding earlier. As many people know, the state is in a pretty weird budget situation where there's a big deficit. And so funding requirements have changed over the last 2 to 3 years. And so one thing that we're being told from Sacramento is that if we want to have facilities that we regulate receive grant funding or loan funding, there needs to be some type of active enforcement order that directly is addressed by that grant. So let's say there was a grant project for repairing the pond liners or repairing the bypass in the sewer system. That would need to be specifically called out in an enforcement order that we can point to Sacramento and say, you know, we have this documented, there is this issue, we want a grant to address this. So that's a big reason for those notices of violation, really just to be able to point to something and kind of bump up the priority level a little bit to folks in Sacramento. And so I think that's all I want to say related to that last NOV. I'm not quite sure when that'll get out, probably in the next couple of weeks, but I just wanted to put it on everyone's radar. I think from the correspondence I've had in the past that those issues with the pond liner are known, so it won't be anything new. I just wanted to make sure everyone is on the same page with us.
So yeah, I mean, one of the things that I really wanted to come here and convey to you guys, right, is, Mike kind of mentioned this earlier, right, is the notice of violation is one of our lowest level of enforcements that we can take. We have a lot of discretion in how we go about that. If there's no compliance, or if there's no progress, like reasonable progress, then I have no choice but to elevate it. Once it goes to a certain state, right, I can't bring it back down, and then there's penalties that you can't use towards your system, right? So I wanted to come here today and let you guys know we're doing what we can. We need you guys to help meet us. I don't know all the inner workings that go on here, right, but I'm just asking that you guys help us appropriate some resources to help them address these things, put a plan in place, right? Our NOVs were intentional. Mike was talking about, you know, there has to be some kind of enforcement action to get you guys some kind of funding. They were brought intentionally, right? We do this all the time, where we identify issues, we try to help people out, try to get some funding, we do some enforcement, and then we turn to our colleagues at State Board and say, help us out, right? But we need you guys to help us out. We've got to meet us halfway so that we can get you the funding and the technical expertise that you need. And then generally, if that funding does go through, it generally will help retroactively pay for planning and engineering as well. So there's always that carrot at the end of this, you know, there too. So you won't be, you know, you'll be reimbursed for that money. It might take some time, but there's always that. So yeah, we just wanted to come address, you know, like kind of where we're at, what enforcement remains, and just ask that you guys help us, and you know, leave it up to you guys for whatever questions that you guys have. So, anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, just one more thing. You know, based on the conversations I've had with the folks in Sacramento, they're always willing to have a meeting and talk about, you know, what a grant project would look like, what the application would look like. You know, we've built some relationships there, and they're always willing to meet with communities just to talk about what that looks like. So I'm happy to set that up. I just wanted to put that offer out there. Thank you. That's all.
Any questions you guys have?
Well, we do have some plans in place.
Yeah.
So we are moving forward.
I'm gonna be talking about the plan that we're putting in place now.
Okay.
I'm a contractor who's been working with Ken and David, for the last month,
Okay.
two or some period of time.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you guys
I'm
can
gonna
do.
speak and address your issues, I guess, after you guys are done, and then I have some business cards, we're probably gonna need to get together and talk and exchange email, and I guess I'll wait till it's my turn.
Is there anyone in the audience that has any questions at all? These are the people that know.
Happy to hand out my contact information too if you'd rather shoot me an email or give me a call.
I have one more question. Can we have, do you have the PowerPoint available that we could post online?
Yeah, did you send it?
Yeah, I can send it to you, Ken, maybe?
Perfect, yes,
Distribute
absolutely.
it? Yeah.
The last slide has all of our contact information. so-
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
May I address the next speaker?
Before, here is Bradley Mallory, and he's going to be, and like I said, these two people, Mike and Bradley, they have been, they're going to be overloaded by all the stuff that's coming in, but they are doing an excellent job, and I look forward to having them later on. On the agenda, as Todd here, he has a proposal. However, we did not get it in time to put it on for the agenda. So this is basically just an informational thing. I think that it would be appropriate at a later date, maybe not too late, to have a special meeting so that we can do that. And I think that it would be beneficial for Mike and Trevor to talk to Todd afterwards so you can see what the progress that we are taking. Okay? Thank you. Todd?
Sure. Hi, my name is Todd Carroll. I'm with BCM Construction, and I'm Norwegian, and I talk loud anyway, so I don't know if I can this or not. But I've been working with Ken and David and then Scott and Gary, I believe, over the past couple of months, trying to get a plan in place to bring it, the system in compliance. There's a pretty big laundry list. We have addressed the items. The check valves and the liner, we got all that figured out, and it's going to be replaced. I just don't know how much more there's going to be when we get up there to do it. But we're planning to do it as soon as possible. So I'm going to send Ken a contract that we would use, and we would go from there. So that would be for his review. You have, from you guys, a pretty good laundry list, and then the state sent one as well that kind of itemized it. And there's a lot of things that need to be fixed for no maintenance over 20 years. So we're going to bring it into compliance as quickly as we possibly can. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get a grant writer I've talked to two, and there is some eligibility issues, but she seems to think that we can maybe get around them, about how many people live here full-time versus part-time, but we're in desperate need of repair. So we're going to need you guys to help us out as much as you can. We're relying on you for that's for sure. My apologies for not getting in time. I had every intention. We had some mix-ups on the check valves. There's no spill emergency program. There's a lot of programs and administrative stuff that needs to be addressed, and that would be my part of the job. I have a contractor that does sewage systems, and he is an expert, and he commented on some of the check valves are in place, and they really shouldn't have been used, but they might have been used for another reason, like hammer pressure or something like that. So that was a bit of a find to find the right valves for that. They're 3 to 5 weeks out, so at the soonest. The PIQ questionnaire, yeah, we're gonna bring the place into compliance hopefully in the next 6 months, to where we have some administrative problems maybe, but we're gonna bring the real emergency stuff to light and get it fixed ASAP, and have a spill management plan in place and stuff like that. So if there is an issue, they can call us or my contractor, and we can get up here and address these problems. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and a lot of it's administrative, so it's not that bad. It's just having the plan in place to take care of the issue or the maintenance or the camera or the alarm or whatever when it comes up. There's not a lot more I could say other than that we're going to bring it in compliance. David David's giving me a plan for this year, next year, and the year after, but it just depends on how much money we can get. I think we can get enough to resolve the immediate liner tears and the back check valves and the bypass, hopefully in the next few months. Contracts and stuff take a while in negotiations, but we want to work with the community and help them out too, because we're a part of the community as well. So, if anybody has any questions for me, I'll be sitting right there. Yes, go ahead.
So as part of your contract, are they include a preventative maintenance plan, say
It will.
annual 5-year, 10-year, and 20-year perspectives?
The maintenance plans are great, but you gotta follow them, right? You can have the best maintenance plan in the world, but if you don't have somebody doing it, it's not for maintenance.
Right, but if you don't have one, then you don't budget for it, and we get into this position where we're in 20 years from now again.
Right, yeah. The maintenance is what is the key
And
issue.
these folks up here, they can't formulate a capital improvement plan unless you have a preventative maintenance plan that they can apply to the sewer that shows a need to accumulate funds from taxpayers.
Right. No, you're right, you're absolutely right. The money is a key issue as well, getting the grants and having the state help us get through these issues.
So then,
It's not real simple.
if everything goes to plan, you're talking about having the immediate emergencies cared for in like 6-month time frame. What if they get hung up on the grant process somewhere? How is that gonna slow it down? And what effect is that gonna have on the milestones for these guys for their work plan compliance?
Well, I'll have a schedule, and as part of my proposal, we'll have a schedule of time, and you guys are gonna have to either come up with money, or we gotta do some portion of it. I suggested maybe a guaranteed maximum price on the contract that can be added or subtracted to or from. So if it comes in cheaper, we're gonna charge you for what it came in, but it won't go over, it's a guaranteed maximum
But I
price.
think that's what these folks out here, which are, we don't understand maybe the complex financial end of things like these two guys here. But we have to understand that this stuff doesn't fall out of the sky, and somebody's gonna have to write checks for it, right?
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Where's your firm located at?
Chico, California.
Okay, thanks.
That's good.
We've been in business 25 years, maybe more.
Well, that's, one of the big problems here is windshield time. And for here, that's how far away it is for anybody to either respond to emergency or to come here and work. And if they come here and work, then there's usually a lot of per diem for the workers because they can't drive back and forth to home every night. And so it makes it very expensive here for the sewer, much more than it would be if we were, say, adjacent to Chico, right?
Yeah, being a rural community, that's, I guess you might say a drawback, but,
Well, yes, plus and minuses.
right, that's right.
We have mountain lions.
I think once you have, get it fixed, you have a maintenance plan and a person to execute it, and you follow the plans like you're supposed to, everything should come out okay, but best laid plans, you know.
Well, but that, along with the sewer system maintenance plan, I think a preventative maintenance plan above and beyond that is probably crucial to a small community like this, to be able to accumulate the funds for maintenance.
Right.
That's why we don't have any deferred maintenance, because it wasn't popular to raise taxes to cover it.
It's still not popular.
No. But flushing the toilet's nice though, right?
It has its advantages.
Yes.
So, some of the check valves and the liner tears, I don't see it really as that bad. We just need to get up there and get it done. Like you said, it's about the money and the timing and getting it done.
Well, and over the years, we haven't even had anybody that could go in the tanks and replace them or inspect them, and then from my knowledges of them, they were not, we had some very creative engineering that went on with designing this plant, or designing that, very creative.
Yeah, I looked at the drawings for Mark Adams. He's a good friend of mine. I'll be consulting with him as well. He did the original set in 2006.
Right.
So I have talked to him about it. We have some ideas that I'll get in place in compliance to get the state. Where they send you guys money, you don't need it. Right?
That's good.
Build up the war chest. really can't talk, these guys are a hard act to follow, I can't really address some of the things they were discussing, but, in the next weeks, we can surely get a list together and start picking these things off one at a time. It just takes time and it takes effort. I think Ken has made a commitment to us to get these things done in the community, so one way or another, we're gonna get through this, just bear with us.
Well, I think it's probably, I don't know, you two guys with the water board, I guess it'd probably be comforting for the community here that you're not here to shut us down, you're here to help us succeed and keep from shutting us down. And then, I guess if a period of time goes by where we've drug our feet for too long, then you have to sharpen your stick. How's that? Okay.
Well, they're part of our team, right? They're gonna help us, they're part of the team. You'll be seeing me around and then our guys in the next coming weeks or months, and we're gonna address these issues. Stop and ask questions if you see us, no problem.
That depends on whether or not we get a contract, of course.
Yeah, the contracting part is the sticky part. I'm gonna send the guaranteed maximum, an AIA document, contract, and a standard AIA contract to Ken for review. So we can get a contract and you guys can start holding me accountable for the problems. That's what you want.
Thank you very much, Todd.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Ken, cybersecurity grant. Ken,
Pardon me?
cybersecurity grant, are you gonna fill us in on that?
Yeah. I thought the board would all get started and then the board would discuss what's going on. Mr. Kenmore, the cybersecurity grant, well, first of all, is there any public comment on it? Yet? There is?
Are there any bills attached to it? If they're gonna be approving them, I don't see any bills.
Well, there was, this, yes, there are bills, and it's not bills, we are being reimbursed for what we have already spent.
Right.
So that's what was attached to the, on the attachments, I believe.
Yeah, because it's just a ledger right now,
Right.
there's no bill.
Right. Anyhow, there's a $75,000 grant that Cheryl Alvarez, I believe she used to be a board member. No, I thought she was. Okay, I'm sorry. She was a volunteer, and I tell you what, she spent a lot of time doing this. I've had several conversations with her. She's a volunteer that was absolutely great for this district and this community. What the grants do is it's for cybersecurity. We are able to get additional computers. Our computers are so out of date that it's, I'm surprised we are working with them. But that, we have to pay for it initially, but then after that, we simply put in a request for reimbursement and the district gets the money back. So it's a win-win situation for us, for everything. BC3 is, well, you guys can talk about BC3, I guess. Yeah, you guys can deal with that. But at any rate, I think Cheryl Alvarez is a classic example of how volunteers in this community, the small community that we have, can really make a huge difference. So it doesn't take that much. It's 4 hours a week or whatever. It does not take make that much, and people have expertise in this, in any of these areas, hey, contact me or contact any of the board members, and we'll hook you up. Real quickly. At any rate, that's basically what the cybersecurity grant goes, and it's, you know, once again, the volunteer, sure, Alvin did it. And, that's all I can say. Wow. Okay. I think you guys ought to give him.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for Cheryl, we wouldn't have gotten this far. Vince started it, and then he left us, and, we had nobody in the office that knew anything about grants or how to work anything. So Cheryl has done a terrific job for us, and, we should be able to get all new computers, and, we've been doing really good. You guys have anything else to?
So these, particular bills have been
Submitted.
submitted for,
We haven't received reimbursement. They said it takes anywhere from 30 to 60 days for reimbursement. Do you have anything on PCC or grant, Scott?
This is specifically for cybersecurity.
Yes.
What else can we use for them? Okay.
Well, it will help us with, getting better speakers and whatnot for
So
our
that's
Zoom.
gonna be, okay.
Yes, that all can fall under that same thing. Most of it, not totally all of it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay, no, that's,
yeah. The computers is the main thing that we're really gonna profit from.
yes.
Is,
We really need.
we basically only have two computers, two laptops, two workstations and one laptop that the Vince used. And that's all we have in our office at this time. And they're on their last legs. David?
Can I say something about VC3?
Sure.
Can I say it?
No.
So, I know a little bit about VC3.
Get to the microphone, please.
Do I need a microphone? Can everybody hear me? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So VC3, my experience with VC3, I've sat in, they have a advisor, so we tell them our needs. They curtail the services based off our needs as a community. They provide IT support, so if I have any issues within the computer, Microsoft, any issues, whatever, updates, they do all of it. I can reach them 24/7. They get back, they'll remote in, they'll fix, do, whatever. Okay. Also, they give me training periodically for hacking. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of us being hacked, and where people coming up with checks and different things like that. Our SCADA system was hacked by the Russians apparently because it was a address? What's that? IP address. It was coming from Russia, according to Verizon Credit Point, and yeah, so it protects us. So we need it, and it protects us. Like I said, I take training so that I'll get fake emails that they'll send me. Okay, after I take the test, 2, 3, 4 days, whatever later,
Thousands.
and it will let me know if I pass by saying, no, this is a phishing attempt, right? Okay, so very friendly, very user friendly, great service that they're providing, and obviously we're getting a lot of it paid through a grant, right? Awesome.
I have a question, David,
Yes.
maybe you can help.
So that's gonna be.
So this
No.
cybersecurity grant covers computers and stuff for the office. Does it do anything for our SCADA system? Because that is also.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it's all tied in.
Okay,
Just for everyone, what is the SCADA system? They probably don't know.
The SCADA system is what monitors all the data that we get from the ponds, the daily flow and things like that. The SCADA can be, according to Aquasira Controls, who is our IT advisor and keeps our SCADA running, that thing is like a Cadillac, which means they could program it to do all kinds of stuff where I wouldn't physically have to go out and get data. Because of the pump station 1 issue, okay, they went in and put in every time the 2 pumps that are running, when they run, it tells me how many amps are going through them. Okay? They can make it where I could actually, instead of going out there, I can make the pump run, I can change the sequence from 1, 2, 3 because the pump had issues, and make it 1, 3. versus having to physically go out there and do things, right? So this is, I mean, SCADA, think about it, 24-hour system that should be monitored 24/7. I can go into SCADA through a team viewer remotely wherever I am, or whoever the person's monitoring, and actually do things. So the SCADA is an amazing system. It just needs to be utilized. Hopefully we can get
So
there.
maybe you should share with everyone that, at least while I was volunteering, one time, a week or two after I got to Alaska, you were on National Guard duty in Oroville. And we used that exact system, as well as having Scott and some other people standing by, Ken.
Yeah, so I was in Oroville on military training, monitoring the SCADA system through the team viewer in Oroville. And because we had a check valve that was failing, we had backflow come into the system, okay? So I was able to have Scott monitor it where if it didn't stop, he would be able to shut the valve off so we didn't have a spill. Okay?
Through
I think that was when Vince left and said everything was okay.
That's what.
And I got contacted by my wife saying, hey, Vince quit. And said everything was fine. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm monitoring this SCADA. It is not fine. And so I immediately called Scott. But it's a lot. But we got it all taken care of. I got Big Valley out here at 1 or 2 in the morning to make sure that it was pumped and that people's sewer that was flowing into the tank wouldn't go onto the ground.
So there was at least 2 incidents we know of that we used the SCADA that way, remotely, and with help from Scott and Ted and Frankie and some other people on the ground. Even though they were not sewer workers, we evaded, and they have these 2 guys visit us and write us a $20,000 ticket.
It would have been approximately 70 gallons per minute going out to the street until it was stopped, because it was coming backflow all the way from the pond. So it would have done that for 24, 48 until the pumps ran.
Well, until we could get somebody up here from somewhere
Yeah,
that would help us.
So we prevented a catastrophe by monitoring the SCADA remotely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think I'm the next one too for, yeah.
Volunteers.
Yeah, that was a great segue into the newest volunteer thing. Because of all of the volunteers that came out here, we did something that could have been devastating. Folks, this is what volunteers do. This is what a community does. We support each other, and that's it. We need more of it, period. That's it. So, there you go. Sorry, but it's something that's important for everyone.
Tell us, this place was founded off volunteers.
Yes.
This whole building was volunteer built.
There you go.
Stacy's been helping us in the office, and we appreciate her help. Tony even came in on Friday and helped us fold and stuff, so we could get the billing out in time. So we appreciate all that you guys do for us. We need more. Frankie, you're up.
Hey everyone, Frankie, Fire Chief. So in the month of December, we had 2 calls for fire. One was a power line, one was also a gas leak. No vehicle collisions. We had 6 medicals that we were dispatched for. The hotel, the status with the Osprey Hotel, is still under fire investigation, but the site has been cleared to get cleaned up. So we should, and hopefully in the next week or 2, start seeing activity over there. Been working with county as well as other departments to make sure it's cleaned up right and disposed of properly. As a reminder, Grasshopper Station north of us is closed now. They do have routine maintenance that they've been doing, so they are kind of there, but not in a facility to help us too much. It's usually just a pickup truck, not the actual engines or anything like that. And going back towards the dispatch for medicals, as a reminder, with Grasshopper closed, with both of our Stones department being volunteers as well as us, there's potential for 45-minute plus away help. Yesterday we got dispatched for medical, and the ambulance was coming in from Westwood. So it can take some time, keep that in mind. When in doubt, call 911. and we'll do our best. I've been working with Stone's Fire Department, and then Al's gonna be helping us as well. We're gonna hold a town hall here in the near future, discussing the mission of our department and ideally what you guys can expect out of us and give more clarity on that. Also last month we were visited by Cal OSHA over on December 16th. We were made aware of a few opportunities that needed to be fixed and maintained in both sides of the facility. Right now, out of the 7 citations, we have 6 fixed and done, taken care of. I've been every day texting and calling Martin, which is our Cal OSHA representative. And he's in staff meetings all day today, otherwise I could have all that signed off for you. But we're working on it, and it was definitely a good eye-opener of what Cal OSHA is looking forward for, and necessary different trainings and whatnot, and give them clarity of what our departments actually do. There was a lot of misunderstandings that were fixed when we came up and met with them. Any questions from the board? Yes, ma'am.
Can you give us a rundown of what the Cal OSHA issues were?
Yeah, of course. So a lot of them was documentation of training. For one of the issues that was brought up that we got clarified was the SCBA training, so the air tanks. Because of our policy, we do not go into a burning building. We do have some structure training. We do not go into, we try to, just like the hotel, keep it from spreading. Try to contain it. So another one was our eye wash station that had been removed at one point, and which was an easy fix. We just screwed it back onto the faucet. We found it, got that one in it. With the need of an eye wash station, we actually purchased another one that we'll be installing in the department itself, so we'll have 2 in 2 different areas. One was also bloodborne pathogens. I had forgot about it back April of last year. We actually went through and did a staff meeting with training at that time with Vince and the other staff members here. And I forgot about it, that we had it documented and it was in our staff notes. And once we were provided that, there was a need, especially since we have an increased volunteers versus last year. Getting them brought up to speed, and so we actually just held a staff meeting today with the district staff and gone through heat illness prevention program as well as the bloodborne pathogens and hazardous material reference book. We did it the other night on our Tuesday drill with the fire department, so now we're all caught up and covered on that one. I'm waiting for the final approval of that from our.
Great, thanks.
All right, thank you.
And you're up again for the wastewater.
Talk about something. Get my steps in.
I said that. For the waste, I think we've pretty much been covered. I don't know what else I can say. Does anyone have any comments or anything about it, or I think it's clarified pretty good, I think. Appreciate it.
That Bradley is going to be, after 30 days, he's going to be taking the classes to get his certification.
Now, oh yeah, and another thing too, we do have a person that is, I think we know who he is, Steve Stump from Lassen County. He has expressed an interest, we have to pay him, of course, but to supervise Brad, in an effort to get him certified as soon as possible. It's tough. There's 1,600 hours required, I think.
For an operator in training in OIT, there's a current water board standard that they have to receive direct supervision as an apprentice for 1,600 hours before they allow them to take the test and certify them with the grade 1 operators.
So that's what we're up against.
Can we
folks.
waive some of those hours? Is there a possibility to get some sort of a waiver or something for extenuating circumstances?
Only if you have education that would support that. So if you have like a civil engineering education, right, or like some other kind of wastewater or drinking water, that's the only way to waive some of those hours.
So that's gonna make it very difficult. and
Well, I
don't
think
know.
we can get an extension, hopefully, but I'm reasonably sure, since we're showing progress, we can get an extension
Due
to.
diligence,
Yeah, and, 1,600 hours, I mean, holy cow.
it's a
That's
year.
10 months of 40 hours a week.
Yeah,
He's he's part-time though, right?
yes,
Yes, yes.
so,
How much
that's
does
what
he
we're
charge
up
an
against,
hour?
All we can do is our best efforts, and that's it.
As long as we're doing that, I believe if you get, and I believe Steve Stump is from the Susanville Sanitary
Yes.
District.
He's been here
So-
before.
He's familiar with the system. He was the operator of record here for a couple of years, I think.
Yes, yes.
And as long as we have him or someone like him continue to give at least partial supervision, those hours still could count. They don't have to be all within the same year, do they?
No.
So it may take 2 or 3 years, which is gonna require an employee commitment, which we've never had before.
Well, I'll just tell Brad he has to work for 16 hours a day.
He wants to get a raise, right?
Taking 5 months.
Yeah.
Ken, what is he being paid?
He is being paid
$16.90.
$16.90 minimum wage right now.
Perfect, just wondering.
And
First 30 days.
for the first 30 days, there will be a review period after that to determine how he's doing. Same with Mike, and he might want to talk to you folks a little bit.
Or not.
Put him on the spot. But anyhow, yeah, I would like to, yeah, there you go. Put him on the spot.
Thanks. Mike Garcia, brand new administrative assistant. I'm on day 4 right now. It's like drinking out of a fire hose, so bear with me, I'm learning. But I just want to take a moment to say this, I've been feeling incredibly welcomed, a lot of support. The people behind me, as well as everybody in the office, they are doing their best. They are stretched thin, they are working really hard to bring these things to fruition. I'd love to spend some time with you guys and put a plan in place. It looked to me, based on what I saw, a lot of it is just expectations and procedures and keeping track of things, and I think that that's probably a fairly simple remedy. Obviously, there's work that needs to be done as well that probably will take a little more time, but I really hope to make a difference. There's a lot of good people in this community. I've been kind of splashing in and out of it for the last probably 10, 15 years, coming up to get some good fishing in and get some good quadding in, and I look forward to being a permanent member. But I just wanted to personally thank everybody that has made me feel so welcome, and we got a good team. We just might need a few more, so appreciate any volunteer help.
Board members report. I don't really have anything.
I do. As you notice, we have a board vacancy, the resignation of Glenn Johnson. I've sent the notice to the state of California and the county, and it's been posted on the window. We have 60 days to fill that position, which would mean February 9th, I believe. And so that volunteer position is open. If anybody would like to join us up here, the applications are at the office. And so we will make a determination if anybody would like to volunteer. We will probably have to have a special meeting to meet that 60-day deadline. And then if no one volunteers, then that gets turned over to the county, and the county will appoint someone to sit with us. And then also, I just wanted to recognize the passing of our Congressman Doug LaMalfa, and just recognize his service and say rest in peace.
Jerry?
Senate Bill 827, new mandates for fiscal and financial training. We have like 6 months to get it done. There's a class on March 4th, 1 p.m. It's a webinar. If you guys would sign up for that.
Can you get some information or printed out for you? He's already given to me what they think, sorry.
Scott?
I didn't catch
Nothing, Scott?
But not specifically, I've been working on, helping county look at billing. If we're gonna take it over, we need to.
We are taking it over.
Okay, so. We need to find out the procedures that she was using. I've been in QuickBooks a couple of times, limited access, and it's not that big of a deal that we can't get it done in-house. So,
That's what we're planning on, saving money.
yeah.
Okay, new policy 5090, Ellen, you were gonna
Okay,
do that?
so, this is a new policy, and I'm gonna read it out loud to you. Policy on the Unruh Civil Rights Act and ADA number 5090. Policy statement, the Spalding Community Service District is committed to providing full and equal accommodations, advantages, facilities, privileges, and services to all individuals free from discrimination or harassment. This policy affirms that the district's commitment to complying with the California Unruh Civil Rights Act Code 51 and the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, and all corresponding state and local accessibility laws. 5090.2, the scope. This policy applies to all aspects of the district's operations, including its physical premises, services, digital platforms, and interactions with the public. 5090.3, no person shall be subjected to discrimination or unequal treatment on the basis of any protected characteristic as defined by the Unruh Civil Rights Act. 5090.4, the district will ensure that its facilities, services, and digital platforms are accessible to individuals with disabilities and will provide reasonable accommodation to qualified individuals unless the accommodation would cause the district undue hardship. 5090.5, the provisions of this policy are intended to comply with all requirements of the California Unruh Civil Rights Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act. To the extent that any other policy, procedure, or practice of the district conflicts with or provides a lower standard than the requirements of the Unruh Civil Rights Act or the ADA, the terms and protections of the Unruh Civil Rights Act and the ADA shall govern.
Any public comments on that?
Thank you for the clarity.
Do you have a motion to approve? All first.
I'll second.
Ellen Stallings,
Yes.
Kathy Plater,
Yes.
Gerald Oliver,
Yes.
Scott Hagan,
Yes.
Karen, correct.
I have just a moment here. As a matter of transparency, I think that I think it would be a good idea to have some of the current corrects, which is basically if anyone believes that there's a violation of the Brown Act or something like that, then we can go ahead and, it's public record. Any public request would provide that. Also, well, that's pretty much where it is. I think as a matter of transparency, we have to do that. In fact, in certain circumstances, it's mandated that we do that. So, in an effort to get ahead of it, I think that it would be appropriate so that the whole community knows if there's an issue, then the community knows about whether or not there's an issue. So that's really all I have to say about it. Anyhow, there you go.
Thank you, Kim.
I don't know if there's any comment.
At this time, it's 2:16, and we will adjourn the meeting. Oh, well, yes.
Ellen Stallings,
Yes.
Kathy Plater, Gerald Oliver, Scott Hagan.
Yes.